Han Solo certainly has a way with words, but did you know that his faithful companion has picked up a few of those tips and tricks? That's right, Chewbacca the Ladies' Man on today's episode of Star Wars Nerds and Geeks. This short story is found in the third chapter of the book Han Solo and the Lost Legacy from the trilogy The Han Solo Adventures by Brian Daley. So here's the story. Chewbacca and Han Solo are in between adventures and they're in a hotel. And Chewbacca's on his own, walking through the hallways of the hotel when he walks by two young women, and they are taking non-human ethnology classes, and they had taken a little bit of Shiruk. Is that how you say the Wookiee language? I'll put it up on screen. Shiruk, something like that. Anyways, they had taken a little bit of those classes, so they kind of knew how to speak to the Wookiee. So they talked to him, and Chewbacca told them all about how he's the pilot of the famous Millennium Falcon, and how his co-pilot is Han Solo. And then he said, "Hey, why don't you come in a ride with us?" And they were like, "Oh, yippee, we'll be there in a little bit." So then Chewbacca comes back to the hotel room, super proud of himself, and he goes to the spa, and he grooms himself, makes himself look super pretty. And then Han Solo comes in, and he sees the two women, and they're waiting for Chewbacca. And the woman asks him, "Are you here to meet Captain Chewbacca?" And he looks at them like, Captain Chewbacca? I'm the captain. But he doesn't say that. He figures out really quickly, and he decides, okay, maybe I'll be nice to Chewbacca. And so he helps Chewbacca, and he pretends that he's the co-pilot. And he walks with the two women, and we learn at this point that their names are Keely and Veer. Again, really weird names. I don't know what's up with this. So they walk outside, and they go to the limousine, and they ride in the limousine, and everything seems to be going along fine. And then Han Solo starts getting annoyed by Keely and Veer, and he decides that he's going to end what's going on there. So he turns to them and he says, "Well, Captain Chewbacca really likes it when you sing off tune and when you tell giant long stories." And they're like, "Well, okay." So they sing off tune and they tell giant long stories. And then Chewbacca's like, you guys got to leave. So then they leave, and that's the end of the story. So that's pretty much Chewbacca's love life, but there's actually a slight tiny bit more. He does have a wife, and this is both in canon and legends that he has a wife. His wife, Melitobuk, was enslaved by the Galactic Empire, as Chewbacca was, and then they escaped separately, and then they came together, and they got married. So Chewbacca and Melitobuk are married, and then they have a child named Lumpa Warump, which if you've seen the holiday special, you may recognize that name. That is Lumpy. So it's Chewbacca, it's Chewie, Mala, and Lumpy together forever, and that is Chewbacca's romantic relationship. And this is Star Wars Nerds and Geeks signing off. See you all next time.